Hi everyone, it's Bethany. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to be looking at the April Clear Stamp and Die of the Month from Spellbinders. Look how pretty this is. Again, I am participating each month in showing you their stamp of the month, and I really am having fun with this because I don't know what's coming, and it's really helped spark my creativity because I don't have any say in what's coming. I don't know what's going to be, and there is such a fun element of surprise to that, and I just anticipate each month being able to open up and see what's coming. So this is the stamp for April. I think this is so fun, and we also have the coordinating dies. So we have this that will go here. We have one for this little banner or bar. We also have this, which I think is going to go, maybe it cuts out one of the pieces up here. I know this will go here, or maybe here. If you just wanted to cut out like a little element, that would be super fun. Oh, I think maybe this one goes here. That's cute too. And then we have one little one for our little hello you. Other sentiments include happy birthday to you, you're a wonderful friend, thanks for just being you, and I assume that those will fit perfectly within this little spot. So really excited about this. I'm going to put my little dies right over here on my little magnetic piece. That way I don't lose them because some of them are very small. And I thought we could have fun really creating with color today. So I went ahead and pulled some really bright and cheerful spring colors. I think these are going to coordinate super well together. And I thought we would have fun just playing around with color with this stamp. And I can't wait to show you my idea. Okay, let's go ahead and get some cardstock. We're going to start trimming this all out. Let me get an idea for how big this actually is. In fact, it might be helpful. Let's do this. I want to see how much room. What I want to do is I want to do strips of cardstock. It's one of my favorite things lately. It's a really easy way to bring color in, and I'm thinking I'll probably want maybe 3/4 of an inch. Let's see. So I have 6 pieces of paper. Actually, it might be a 1/2 inch. We probably could do simple math here, but what I'm going to do is just lay my die. Okay, I'm losing that pink. So I think if I do 1/2 inch, and you know, it might not be present on each, or I might not have an equal amount on the ends because of where the die is going to cut, but let's try, I just like to do this. It's very visual for me. Let's try about a 1/2 inch, very rough measurements here until we get a trimmer out, of course. And even then, I kind of just wing it. Okay, so that is about a 1/2 inch each. And then, oh, that's it. Okay, I might even just stretch it just a bit thicker, and I think that'll be really cool. Okay, so sticking you here, let's get the paper trimmer. Okay, now what I'm going to do, let's set this to the side. I'm going to, and I have a little bit of fun on this one. I'm going to do just a little bit more than a 1/2 inch. And you know, I'm just going to eyeball it. You can be precise. I'm going to just eyeball that, and I'll lay this here. That way I can get an idea of how I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to just go through. I'll trim each of these pieces. And I'll link this cardstock down below. Aren't these colors just awesome? They are so neat. Okay, let's do right about there. Okay. And you can use, you know, as many or as few colors as you wish. And that'll just affect how big your little strips of paper are. There. And let's see here. I think we should be good. I might make, you know what I think I'm going to do? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make my top and my bottom pieces a little bigger to give me grace. And you'll see why in a little bit. Stick with me. I think this makes sense. So let me, There is a straight side here. Let me make these a little bigger, and it will make sense in just a moment. So just thicker on the top and bottom strips. Okay, let's bring these over here. I am then going to take just a piece of cardstock. This is just 80-pound cardstock. And I'm going to bring in a little tape runner. And I'm just going to start placing my little strips down. Now, I like to do my first one this way because then I can get it really straight. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then I like to turn it because I feel like it's a little bit easier to line them up really nice for me if I turn it just a hair. Okay, there's that. Actually, those are kind of thick, so I'm just gonna, there we go. Look at this color. Is that gorgeous? I'm kind of picky about my yellows. And orange for me is it's either sherbet or nothing. I'm not an orange girl at all. I don't know why, I just don't like orange. But the sherbet, I love. But I skipped orange in this trio, or not trio, this lineup, trio. Okay, then we'll do this one here, getting them super close. There we go. And finally, I think I have enough adhesive. And finally this. Now this light purple is really close to that petal pink that's at the top. It's really close, but different enough, right? Look how close those are, but I love it. There's also another purple in this paper pack that's super pretty, but I went with this one. Okay, I think that looks good. So there's our little strips. Let's double check. There. Now the reason I did my top and bottom a little bit bigger was to give me some grace with where I placed the die, right? I didn't want it to be so close to where I was having to lock myself into position, especially because now we're going to stamp next. And I just want a little bit of wiggle room for how I'm going to finish this up with the die. Okay, let's bring paper trimmer right back in. I'm not going to lose you. I'm not going to lose you. I'm not going to lose you. That is my whole goal every time I do a paper craft, is not to lose any of the supplies, especially the stamps and dies, because the stamps cling everywhere. And the dies are usually super small. Not super small, but sometimes. That's a nice big one, but trust me, I could manage to lose it. And let's just trim off these pieces. This doesn't have to be perfect, but we want it small because we're going to bring our Misty in next, and we want to align this really nice in the corners. Now keep these little scraps. These are awesome. We won't be using them today, but these colors are just too good to throw away, and you can definitely reuse these. In fact, actually, I need to keep in mind, I need to put these, I'm going to do this because I need to do a sentiment later, and look how perfect. Not for the banner one. I don't think I'm going to do the banner, but famous last words, we might. But a lot of these would fit right on those pieces. So we might bring that in later with that paper. Okay, next is the Misty. I'll bring in the mini here, just like this. And I am going to heat emboss on these strips of paper. Now, making sure this is nice and snug. I'm going to bring in this stamp. Let's peel this off. Very gently. Isn't this pretty? That's awesome. Okay. And I'm going to try to do pretty straight. I'm also going to try to have an even distribution over my little pieces of paper. So I think that to me looks good. I think we look pretty straight down there. Straight enough. Okay. And let's see. Oh, gotta overthink. I gotta overthink. I think that looks good. And we have enough room. Now this is going to be the wrong way, but we have enough room for our die to cut around as well. So you just want to be mindful of all of those little things, right? I think that looks good. Okay, bring this down. Okay, here we go. Okay, I have my Versamark. I also, more importantly, have my anti-static powder. And if you watch me frequently, you know why, because I always forget this part. And I have my catch tray. I'm also, now you could do a clear embossing powder on this and it would rock your socks off. It would be so cool. I've been doing that a lot lately. Clear embossing powder on like solid cardstock. It's amazing. In fact, I did it last month in my March kit. So I'll link that video right up here if you want an idea for how to use clear embossing powder. It'd be awesome. But I'm going to do white this time. I think this will be really fun. So I have a fine detail white. I have that ready to go. Now I'm going to double check, especially when you put this much work, you know, into your, I mean, we just cut down strips and glued them or taped them, but still, I don't want to mess it up. I'm going to condition this a little bit. Although Versamark is a wonderful way to condition your stamp. And, oh, Bethany, goodness gracious. Let's prep the paper here. I need to put the note on my Versamark. I really do. It's just a struggle. We all have our thing, right? We all have our thing that's really hard for us. And me, it's remembering the anti-static powder. But I don't want to mess this up. Okay, so I'm going to check this for the 19 millionth time because I don't want that to be misaligned because I think I'll double stamp it. Okay, so let's press this down. I'm going to grab my stamp press tool. Really press that. I think this is going to be so pretty. Oh my goodness. Okay, I think I got a good press. Oh, that looks nice. I think so. You are going to be amazed with the detail. I thought maybe I had kind of shifted and double stamped this because I was like, why is that line, that skinny little line right there? You'll see it in a minute when I put the powder on, but it's not. It's the detail is so fine on this beautiful stamp. How pretty. Love it. Okay. I didn't move my paper because I don't think it moved. Famous last words. Maybe we should stop and have a little card prayer. Ugh, please work. Oh my goodness, love it. I feel really good about that. I feel like we got a really good impression. That looks really nice. So now let's do the powder. I'm going to leave my stamp in the Misty just in case. I'm going to bring a little clip here. Bring my, oh, not my anti-static powder. Bring my embossing powder. And let's sprinkle. Here we go. Just let that sit for a second. Okay. Oh, goodness gracious. It's going to be so cool. Do you ever just know when you're card making, like, this is going to be awesome? I'm feeling that right now. Oh my goodness. I have one teeny spot right, let's see, now I lost it. Right here, I just have a little powder. Okay, I'm gonna just make sure. I think everything else looks pretty superb. Okay, we're good. Let's funnel the rest back in here. Now, knowing how fine this stamp is, I'm happy I have a little fine detail powder here. You know, I don't really know. I don't know really. Obviously, it's probably finer and teenier, but I've never really done a direct comparison of fine detail versus just regular. But, oh, I shouldn't have taken this off. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm going to let my heat tool heat up. Now, you don't want to overheat this because First of all, you don't want to overheat it for your powder, but also because there's that tape behind it, right? That adhesive runner. So you don't want to overheat this and kind of melt that tape. But I've done this quite a few times and the tape is more durable than you think. Goodness, it's so pretty. Isn't that pretty? And look at how fine that is. The reason why I do paper sometimes is because it's a great way to bring in color without having to color, right? Sometimes I get so intimidated by stamps. I need to reheat the top. I see powder and not shiny up here, so I'll do that. But sometimes when I see stamps, I am so intimidated by the delicacy of them, and I think, oh my goodness, I don't know if I could color that well. So I don't. I do another way of what makes me feel like I'm having fun. You always want to have fun with your cards. So if you're thinking like, oh, that would totally stress me out to color it, then don't color it. Do something different. And that's me today. That's me. I am not coloring because I don't know that I could do it well enough to get the look I want. And I'm using color this way. Now we are ready. So I think this looks pretty good. We have a tiny bit of warping, but not a lot. And we're going to be doing die cutting next and running it through the die cut machine. So that will just remedy itself. So you could place this under a book if you're too worried about it. I am not worried a second about it. So I'm going to just move on. I'm going to bring in my pink tape and I'm going to position this just so. Okay, and honestly, I think that looks great. I'm going to over tape this because it's such a big die and look at all the work we've put in so far. I don't want it to shift and ruin it. So I'm wasting tape. I'm not wasting tape. It has its purpose. Wasting is when something doesn't have a purpose, right? The purpose is we don't want this to get ruined. So I'm using more tape than I need because that's going to make me feel better. I have my cutting plate and my top plate. Let's bring this in. Okay, here we go. I can't wait. Do you ever get so excited to see the final cut? Okay, I'm just gonna do it twice, you know? Just to give it the good old, oh, it's perfect. The good old benefit of the doubt. Okay, so are you ready? Let's see here. Delicately take the tape off. Okay, let me get my little tape. It wants to stick. There we go. Even though you're pretty in pink, you're not part of our final look. And because we did a couple layers, sometimes it cuts through the tape, which is fine. Okay. All right. And the die that with the pressed edge, I know you're like, get to it already. Let me see. The die with the pressed edge just makes the whole look. Isn't that pretty? I think that's so pretty. I love it. I love it. Okay, I am going to cut out a couple additional pieces for underneath. So I'm going to take this die. I'm going to run it through a couple more times with, let's do 80-pound cardstock. That's fine. That way we can just really bulk up this piece. Now for this piece, how neat would it be to put some acetate on here? You could put some acetate on here and make a shaker card. You could even heat emboss the stamp on there as well. So that's a way for you to take this little piece and use it and not waste it. So that would be a really fun shaker. It gives you a lot of room for a shaker, but plus you could do the little stamp right on the acetate. Okay, while my Spellbinders Platinum 6 is out, I am going to run a panel through with my favorite embossing folder. And I'm gonna have that ready too. So let's open this. This is A2 size. I think given the size of our little stamp here, I don't think I'm going to trim it down, but we'll see. I always can in a little bit. But look how pretty. I love this embossing folder. It is my #1 favorite of all time. Okay, so I have my embossed background. I have my beautiful stamped piece. I have 3 additional layers, and I'm gonna grab some glue and get all of this stacked up. You could use the adhesive of your choice. I'm gonna go ahead and use this Barely Art glue. And I'm just gonna put all around this white piece. This is another wonderful way too for you to really flatten out your heat embossed, excuse me, panel. Once you stick it down on additional paper, it just flattens right out, but it's flat. So we're not worried about that at this point. But if yours tends to, I want to mention it just in case yours tends to warp a little bit more. Now, as we do so, I'm going to bring in a block just to really let that set. So let's continue. Okay, and our final layer. Ooh, it's looking good. I love this. Now, if you want to skip this, you certainly can. I'm doing this for dimension, but also because I just really like this look. But you could skip this and just add not embossing. Oh my goodness, I need more coffee. It's so early. You could skip this and add foam tape. Absolutely. Make sure that that lined up really good. Okay, I think we're good. There we go. Okay, now I just want to get an idea of where we're at. Oh, my favorite card. It might be. It might be. Now, what I was thinking, let's bring the stamps in. What I was thinking of doing is, let's move all this little stuff. If I was going to bring a sentiment in, I was thinking about layering it right on top of the little color area, right? And I was honestly thinking about Hello You, and I'll tell you why. A couple reasons. #1, it has a coordinating die, and I love that. #2, I think Hello You can be sent for anything, right? Happy birthday to you is obviously a birthday. You're a wonderful friend. Oh, that's pretty universal as well. Thanks for just being you. I just love that. I love that you can just make this for anything. You could also bring that banner down. Ooh, and you could do the banner down here. That would be super, super cute as well. Let me try, just because it's in my head to try. I kind of want to do Hello You. Maybe even here. And use, oh, do I not have enough pink? Well, should I do it in the yellow? I really want it on the pink, of course. Well, I'll just cut a new piece. When you want something, you want something. I want to do pink on pink just so it looks super nice. You could also do, ooh, but would it be more contrasty if I did it on white with like a black sentiment? Maybe I could do both and try. Okay, I took a little break and now I'm back. So I need to do the sentiment. And again, I'm thinking we'll do this Hello You, because I like that we can use this little die here. And even if you didn't have, you want another one, these are so easy to cut. I mean, it's just a basic rectangle, right? But I'm going to try, I have my girl Cathy Zielske on standby right now. She and I have decided that we're gonna do, we are going to do this Hello You on the pink and stack it up, and let's see how that looks. So let me grab my Misty and let's see what we can do here. Now, of course, I don't have that piece big enough, but that's okay. I have plenty of that color, and I'll just trim down just a teeny tiny bit. Let's see here. Maybe even just a tad more than I need, because I'm going to just stamp one, this little hello you, but then I'll stack multiple layers up underneath. So I'll use this to cut out some additional ones. Okay, so I'm gonna put this one back here. And, okay, so let's do this first. And then Cathy said another good idea would be to do it on black and do a white embossing powder. So let's do both. Let's do both and see what our eye likes. And we'll see. Okay, first mark. Hello you. I love the hello you. I really like it because it's tiny. Because I want to stack it, right? That was my first kind of thought here. But it's so universal, right? And I feel like I need more cards like that. So I've been doing pretty good about sending my cards out. But I have found that I need more of those just generic cards. Okay, there is that. Let's applaud right now because I did not forget my anti-static powder. And let's put our embossing powder on. Okay, there we go. I think that looks pretty good. Yep, looks great. I'm going to heat emboss that. And then I will I'll cut this out and then do 3 layers for underneath. I think that will be magnifique. Okay, that looks really nice. Okay, I have my options here. So I have tone on tone, and we will bump it up quite a bit. I like that. And I also have it in the black as well. I like that too. Darn it. Okay, I gotta text Cathy. Let's see what she says. Okay, while I'm waiting for what Cathy says, I'm going to stack my little layers here. So let's do the pink first. Just going to, these are itty bitty. I think it goes this way, right? Oh, I have them all stacked. And I realized that I cut this one upside down. Do you see how good that one looks? I put the die on this upside down. So that's also to show you that it would be okay either way. But I like it this way with it just looks better. So, all right. The verdict is in and we're going with option B. I think that's gonna look really nice, but I'm going to redo that because again, I got the die upside down and I think that looks a lot cleaner, right? When it's going the right direction. It doesn't look awful because obviously I looked at it for a few minutes before I realized what I even did, but I'm gonna redo that because I want it to look just as sleek as that one, and then we'll finish this up. And I'm just removing any little extra powder. And this is just a little makeup brush that I found at Dollar Tree, and it's angled, which is really nice. But it really comes in handy for this little part of card making, just to get really precise little sweepaways. You know what I think I'll do is, so that I don't have to redo all of that stacked work, is I'll just cut this one out correctly, flip this over, and put it on top. Why not? So it goes, at least my understanding, my visual understanding is that it looks better with the little bloop at the bottom. How do you like that for an explanation? It's so similar both ways that there's only a little subtle difference, I think, for deciding which way it goes. Okay, I've got that final one there. So, like I said, I am just going to, and hopefully, I think it will stick to this one. But I'm just going to put my glue right on top. And then I'll place this way, and then I didn't waste all of that work and paper. Not that it's a lot of paper, right? It's teeny tiny, but you know, it's the work. So let me just pinch that. And then I'm going to put a block on it. So it ended up being 5 layers, which, you know, I'm not mad about that. It's pretty nice. Let me get the block. Where did you go? Here you are. And let's press that down. Okay, so now that I have these layered, right, I'll hold these up because I think once there is additional paper underneath, this still looks really, really good. And the additional layers really help. Let me bring it closer. I think they really help to give it a little bit of contrast, right? It looks really good, just like that. But I agree that this looks really awesome. So I'm gonna go with that. Now I'm gonna save this, okay? Because that was a lot of work. So I'm gonna put this in my little save pile and I'll use that for another card. And what I'm going to do next is do my card base. Okay, so bringing in 110-pound cardstock and my Score Buddy. My dimensions here are 11 by 4 1/4. It's just half a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. I'm gonna just nudge that into the corner. And given that this is 11 inches, my score line will go right in the middle at 5.5. And then we'll have our nice top folding card. Now what I think I'll do is, I want this to be a full panel. Usually I trim that down, but visually, given the size of this whole design, right, this die cut, I'm gonna keep it big. I think that that is what's going to look best. And what I'll do is, I think I'm actually going to put some foam tape on the back of that, and we'll just pop that up on this little base. So actually, I'll keep my Score Buddy around, and let me put some foam tape on the back of this cutie pie. Okay, last little bit. And what I'll do is bring my Score Buddy back in, and I will put my little card base right here, just like so. And then I'll take these little backers off, and now I'm given a little corner to align to make sure I can get this placed really, really nice. So I'll also put a little liquid glue here just in case I need to move it around a little bit. Kind of lets it wiggle around and not be so permanent right away. Okay, ready, steady, and there we go. Just like that. Okay. Look. Oh my goodness, I love that. You know what? I always trim down the panel. I always do. But that looks so chic. Just edge to edge. Oh my goodness. Mwah. Chef's kiss. All right, and we're not even done. Let's put some glue on the back of this. Now, I'm thinking we will just put it up. You could center it. No, you could, but I don't think that looks as nice as going just right up there. Okay, so let's solidify that with some glue. We already have so much dimension with the stacked paper, so I'm not going to do foam tape, but you could if you wanted a little bit more. And I'm just putting this all over wherever it comes into contact with that raised embossed paper. It will stick. Wherever it doesn't, it will just dry. Focusing on those outer areas too. Okay, that was not methodical at all, but it's gonna work. Okay, let me lay that down, kind of wiggle. I'm gonna bring my T-square ruler in actually because there is a little, you know, line to this. Oh, I think, isn't there? Maybe nudge it over this way just a little bit. See how much time you have with that liquid glue? Okay, does that look right? I think so. I actually kind of want to keep nudging it this way. You know what I'll do is I will line up the line. That's what I'll do. Okay, making sure my lines are really good and straight. And they are, so that will be my final answer there. I'm going to set this for just a minute and let that just solidify. And then we'll do our little hello. Hello you. And I really like it down here. I really do. I'm not going to overthink it. Sometimes you know right away what you want to do, and sometimes you text one of your card making besties and you say, help. Okay. Ready and drop. Okay, actually I'm gonna bring it down just a hair right there. Oh, I really like it. Okay, I want something subtle but there for a tiny little final look. So my go-to, you know, are these little dewdrops. So I'm gonna go tiny, and I'm going to just do a trio, I think. Let's see. Let's see what I want to do. I want to go tiny though, and tiny. Okay, well, and I'll fix that placement on the top, but I kind of like it going bloop, 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 bloop. Okay. Okay, I like that. I really like that. So let me put those into place really quickly. Three. Okay, I really like that. Feeling like that is just way too pretty. Okay, so there we are. Final card. I am loving that. I think it's really pretty. So there is April's clear stamp and die of the month. If you've missed, let's see, this is April. So if you missed January, February, March, be sure to browse back on my channel to see what those little club kits were like. And Spellbinders has a variety of clubs. So I am doing the clear stamp and die of the month, but they have a lot of different varieties that you can choose from. So be sure to head on over there. I will place links down below. That way you can easily find where the clubs are, but also where you can find this beautiful clear stamp and coordinating die. I can't wait to see what is in store for May. This is so much fun. I'm having way more fun than I ever imagined, and I cannot wait to see what we're going to be creating for the rest of the year. It's so fun. All right, everyone, if you enjoyed this, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and I can't wait to see you and continue crafting with you in the next video.